Alright, today we'll be talking about parametric differentiation. Now, when we talk about parametric differentiation, what did I mean? It is a very simple differentiation you have to know. Now, let's take for instance, I'm given an example like this. Given that x is equals to sine t and y equals to cos t, find the y dx. Now, parametric differentiation mainly deals with the fact that we are given another variable with two other variables. You know, in differentiation, we are only supposed to be having x and y, but now you are having three, which is x, y, and what? T. So I want to find the y dx in this particular question. Watch as I explain now. So solution to this, the first thing you have to do is to write your x. Now differentiate your x. Your x here is what? Sine t. So if you differentiate your x, that will be what? Dx dt. You are differentiating with respect to what? T. So if you differentiate with respect to t, you will have what? Cos t. I guess what I'm saying now. Then for the second one, your y is what? Cos what? T. So if you differentiate cos t, you will have the y dt, right? And that will be what? Minus what? Sine t. Because if you differentiate cos, you have what? Minus sine. Now, for you to get your dy dx, how will you go about that? That will be, the formula is what? Dy dt all over what? Dx dt. I guess what I'm saying now? Dy dt all over what? Dx dt. And that will now be what? What's your dy dt? Your dy dt is what? Minus what? Sine what? T all over your dx dt is what? Cos t. And I'm sure we all remember the fact that sine over cos will give us what? Tan. So our final answer what? Minus what? Tan t. I'm sure we understand everything we did in this first example. So let's go on to another question. Let's say we have a question given that x is equals to t raised to the power 3 minus t and y equals to 4 minus t squared. You can go ahead and pause the video and try to solve this question. Now, what am I to do in this kind of question? The same thing we did for the first question. You will have to get what? So let's say solution. Your x is what? Your x is t raised to the power 3 minus t, and your y is what? And your y is what? 4 minus what? T squared. So your dx dt, you are differentiating this now. That will be what? 3t squared minus what? 1. Because if you differentiate t, you will have what? 1. So that's for your dx dt. Then your dy dt will be what? This one will become what? 0. So this one will be what? Minus what? 2t. Because if you differentiate constant, you will have 0. And if you differentiate t squared, you will have what? 2t. So going to get our dy dx, that will be what? Dy dt all over what? Dx dt. And that will now be what? What's your dy dt? Your dy dt is what? Minus what? 2t over what? Your dx dt is what? 3t squared minus what? 1. And that will now give us what? Minus what? 2t all over what? 3t squared minus 1. So this will be our final answer. I'm sure we all understand. So we'll do the last example for today before we call it a day. So let's say I have an example given that x equals to, let's say we have a question like I want square root of ts plus 1, and my y is equals to t cubed minus what? 12t. Now, see, this kind of question are very simple. I'm sure we all understand the concept now. So you can go ahead and pause the video and try to solve it by yourself. Now here you have x equals what? Square root of what? T plus 1. The square root of t standing alone. And your y is what? T cube minus what? 12t. So here you should know that this is the same thing as what? T raised to the power t raised to the power 1 over 2 plus 1. And this is y equals to t cube minus what? 12t. So that will now become what? X will be what? Differentiate this, and that will be what? Half what? T raised to the power what? Minus 1 over 2. I'm sure we remember that when we are dealing with this, it means what? We are removing 1 from this. So half minus 1 will give us what? Minus half. Then if you differentiate 1, it will give you what? 0. And then for this y part, that will give us what? 3t squared minus what? 12. Because if you differentiate 12t, you will have what? 12. So onto our dy dx, which is what? Dy dt all over what? Dx dt. And that will now be what? What's my dy dt? My dy dt is what? 3t squared minus 12 all over what? What's my dx dt? Half of what? T raised to the power minus 1 over 2. So you can decide to leave the answer like this. You can decide to leave the answer like this. And you can decide to go further by simplifying this. This will give us 3t squared minus 12 all over this 1 over 2 multiplied by, if we apply indices to this, that will give you what? 1 over t raised to the power minus 1 over what? 2. And that will now give you, what? 3t squared minus 12 all over what? 1 over 2 multiplied by what? T raised to the power 1 over what? 2. And that will give us what? 3t squared minus 12 divided by what? 1 over 2 times root t. I change this back. T raised to the power 1 over 2 is the same thing as root t. So that will now be what? Here we have 3t squared minus 1 times what? 2 root t. And that will be what? 3t squared minus 1. Then what? 2 root t. So that will be the final answer for this. Thank you very much, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you very much. I am Colossus El Secret.